MGTV, η ομογένεια κοντά σας. The Hellenic Medical Society of New York.
Annual Dr. Papanicolaou Symposium at New York Hospital Cornell in New York City. Tonight, Tuesday, May 17th, 2016, we're having the annual Dr. Papanicolaou Symposium, and we have a very good turnout and excellent speakers. Every year, we bring a specialist in the work of Dr. Papanicolaou, and this year it's Dr. Apostolos Athanasiadis, who is president of the European Union Department of Ultrasound, Obstetrics Gynecology Specialist in Ultrasound, and he is also professor at the Aristotelian University of Thessaloniki for many years. Dr. Chervenic, the chairman of the Department of Obstetrics Gynecology at Cornell, will be introducing the speaker. We also have greetings from Archbishop Demetrios of America, Patriarch or Exarch in the United States of the Greek Orthodox Church, and we will have the representatives, general councils, and ambassadors from Greece and Cyprus. The greetings also will be from Dr. Podara, who is the president of the Papanicolaou Society.
Because we want the students to enter the mind of Dr. Papanicolaou and discover the whole psychosynthesis of Papanicolaou. So they're all written in Greek. So we have 6 this year that are going to receive awards. And I'm very proud to say we have found sponsors. And each sponsor gave $250. So each student who wrote a beautiful essay today will receive an award from the Greek Teachers Association Prometheus and a check from a sponsor for $250.
Also, we had Dr. Stella Liberis, Vice President of the Hellenic Medical Society of New York, speak to us about brachytherapy, that is the application of radiation therapy to cervical cancer. As we all know, Dr. Papanicolaou, with a Pap test, has saved millions of women from cervical cancer. This was published in 1924, and Dr. Papanicolaou, who came from Greece with his wife, was almost 50 years professor in the Department of Anatomy and Cell Biology at Weill Medical College in New York City. We are all proud of his legacy. We had greetings tonight from the Archbishop Demetrios of America, and we had the dignitaries from Greece and Cyprus present. We had the professors of obstetrics gynecology and biochemistry and cell biology from New York Hospital, Cornell, and the professor of cytopathology from Cornell, Dr. Hora, and the professor at NYU Langone, and specialist in immunology for the female, Dr. Formenti. So again, we'd like to thank all participants for this excellent and Hellenistic symposium that really shows how the Hellenic scientists are contributing to medicine and this age, like Dr. Papanicolaou did for so many years, Dr. Papanicolaou, is important to know, was co-founder of the Hellenic Medical Society of New York, and in his legacy, we have formed the Federation of Hellenic Medical Societies of North America in 2002 in Canada, and the Global Hellenic Biomedical Networks.
The Hellenic Medical Society of New York.
We'll start with greetings. Your Eminence, our Archbishop Dimitrios Yeron of America, head of the Greek Orthodox Church.
I'm very glad to be tonight here. First of all, because the professor who is honored comes from Thessaloniki, the city from which I come. I would like to congratulate the young people who are the recipients of the awards. And I'm thankful also, Doctor, for your list of what happened in the past with people recipients and the achievements and the specifics of Dr. Papanicolaou offering to the science. There is a history and there is a recognition, and if you have a biblical recognition, and if you have as an identity of Jesus, the healer, the physician, you don't need anything more to offer the highest respect, love, even adoration to the physicians. God bless you and bless the honoree tonight.
I would like to introduce now Dr. George Liakias, our president of the Hellenic Medical Society of New York, who will give us some thoughts related to this event.
Thank you to all of you that have joined us tonight. Thank you to the dignitaries that are here. Thank you, Your Eminence. Thank you for those always inspiring words, and in particular, your appreciation and love for the medical profession. Most of all, thank you to the students for being themselves, and we encourage you to even tell other students about what is going on here tonight. Our job for the Society is to continue to inspire the young minds to eventually replace us, and if it wasn't for you, well, you are our future. But also in particular, thank you, Spiro, because I know that Dr. Mazitis puts a lot of effort into, in particular, this event, and in particular, Spiro, thank you, Dr. Mazitis. If it wasn't for you, perhaps we wouldn't be here tonight.
I'd like to introduce now Dr. Frank Chervenic, our chairman of the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology at Weill Medical College, who's been very instrumental in organizing these scientific symposia.
Thank you. I will follow George's example. The best way I can honor this wonderful symposium is to keep my remarks very short. This is truly a thing of beauty. Spiros, you've done something wonderful. You and your whole administrative team, Evangelista, this whole group, it's something beautiful. When I see the young people come together to honor Dr. Papanicolaou, bring together something beautiful. I, as chair of OBGYN, am so proud to be a part of this because Papanicolaou made a timeless contribution. Before his contribution, cervical cancer was the major killer of women, and now it's not. So we should all be proud. This transcends nationality. It's truly a thing of beauty. Your Eminence, it's a privilege to be here in Apostolos, a special privilege that we can honor you. Thank you so much.
And now we're going to have the president or the representative of the Papanicolaou Society of America, Mr. Tony Rigos, please. Or is Mrs. Bodara going to speak?
Yeah. Your Eminence, Archbishop Dimitrios of America, dignitaries, members and guests of this symposium, it is with great honor as President of the Papanicolaou Society of America to greet this symposium and in honor of our compatriot, Dr. George Papanicolaou. No matter how many years will pass, we always will all honor the life and work of Dr. Pap and his spouse Mary. And we'll never forget what he did for humanity and women. At this point, I will call Mr. Tony Rigos. He's a member of our society, Papanicolaou Society of America, to talk to us about Dr. Papanicolaou. And he's from Kimi, birthplace of Dr. Papanicolaou. And also Dr. Papanicolaou in the 30s was a member of our society, in the Papanicolaou Society of America.
Thank you, Sula. Thank you also, Dr. Zidis, Your Eminence, members of the General Council, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here just to give a little brief speech about Dr. Papanicolaou, where he came from, and some facts about his life. As Ms. Sula said, I'm speaking on behalf of the Papanicolaou Society, and we are especially proud of the man we honor today, a man of vision who contributed so greatly to women's health to this very day. He went to France, where he worked as a physiologist. After some time, he returned to Greece to serve in the army during the Balkan Wars of 1912. While serving in the Greek army, he met Greek-American volunteers who told him about the vast opportunities that America had to offer. Due to this encounter, he came to the US in 1913. Due to the economic conditions in the United States, life was difficult for him at that time. Initially, when he came here, he sold carpets and played the violin at restaurants at night. His wife also worked to help him make ends meet by working at Gimbels, stitching buttons for $5 a week. Does anybody remember Gimbels? A year later, in 1914, he started working here at Cornell University, where he worked for almost 50 years. Dr. Papanicolaou became known for his invention of the Pap smear test, which is used worldwide for the detection and prevention of cervical cancer, saving millions of lives throughout the years. Thank you.
So Dr. Hora is the chief of the Papanicolaou Cytology Laboratory and director of the Fellowship Training Program. And Dr. Hora, would you like to present something briefly on the cytology and Dr. Papanicolaou?
These are our personnel. We have the faculty listed on the top, and we have our old staff here. Our supervisor, Sue Alpestein, is actually in the audience. She wanted to attend Dr. Pap's greetings and honor. So the cytology lab, Dr. Papanicolaou's lab, we focus a lot on teaching and education of cytology, and we are trying to follow his footsteps. Of course, these are very big shoes to fill. Dr. Pap used to have a course in exfoliative cytology for lab technicians in the beginning when cytology was born, and this is a picture from 1949 from his first course. He, of course, had 4 of them. And so I started to follow in his footsteps, and we have an annual tutorial which is entitled this is the 7th depicted here, and the course is entitled the Papanicolaou Tutorial on Updated Diagnostic Cytopathology. It's a non-profit meeting. It's entirely supported by the Department of Pathology, and I have organized it since 2010. It's in its 7th year, and it's a 2-day meeting, and we have about 15 speakers, including international, national celebrities, and Weill Cornell faculty. I have to thank Dr. Nicholas Mezitis of the Hellenic Medical Society, who supported one speaker for about 5 years for our meeting.
Now we'll move ahead with the awards. And the Student Essay Awards, Professor Demosthenis Triantafylou, President of the Greek Teacher Association, will come up and present the awards to our 6 awardees.
Your Eminence, the Aaron Archbishop Demetrios, Consul General of Greece, Dr. Athanasiadis, Dr. Mezitis, distinguished presidents of the different societies, organizations, teachers, and students. For me, Dr. Papanicolaou has not passed away. Dr. Papanicolaou has been with me since 1962. 1961, when I first heard him giving his speech here at this holy temple of the New York Hospital, 1961. And I heard His Eminence referring to the apostle being a doctor, and the word apostle struck a new concept in my mind as far as science is concerned. And I said to myself, the word apostolos, apostle means the person who has undertaken apostoli, a task, to dedicate his life to something very significant, apostolos, apostoli. Because we want the students to enter the mind of Dr. Papanicolaou and discover the whole psychosynthesis of Papanicolaou. So they're all written in Greek. So we have 6 this year that are going to receive awards. And I'm very proud to say we have found sponsors. And each sponsor gave $250. So each student who wrote a beautiful essay today will receive an award from the Greek Teachers Association Prometheus and a check from a sponsor for $250. May I ask, please, Dr. Antonopoulos, who was on the Committee Society, Mr. Kokinos to come forward, please, to assist. We would like to ask Dimitra Kokinidou, who is from San Dimitrios High School, and her teacher is Mrs. Indilas. Where Mrs. Indilas? Mrs. Indilas, thank you very much for your assistance. She is receiving. She's receiving the award from Prometheus, and I have to tell you, my wife is a cancer survivor from pancreatic cancer. So we have decided today to initiate a 10-year giving awards to students. In other words, from now and for 10 years, my wife and I will be giving $250 to one student every year. That's what my wife wanted to do. We have Elizabeth Balzi from Wayne Hills High School, Wayne, New Jersey, and the Greek school is Analypsy Essential from Fairview. Where is Balzis? Elizabeth. And the sponsor for Elizabeth is Dr. Yanis Nathanas, who is president of the DIAS Educational Foundation that has many programs in the University of Crete and other universities, and he has been doing an excellent educational contribution to the young generation. We have Ekaterini Tsamba from the high school, of Astoria. And her teacher is Mrs. Sindinas. And Horigos, Tsamba. The sponsor is the dentist, odontodiatros, Nikolos Romanidis. He's a dentist, odontodiatros. And thank you very much. Then we go to Nikolaos Panaousis from Francis Lewis High School. Where Francis Lewis High School has a beautiful Greek program, and the director is Mr. George Kanelopoulos. Mr. George Kanelopoulos, please. Mr. George Kanelopoulos is also the principal of the Greek afternoon school at San Nicholas in Flushing. Please, George Kanelopoulos, come forward. And he's also a member of the board of the Prometheus. And now we are moving on to George Rizos. George Rizos is attending the French-American School in Manao, and the Greek School in Rai, and Olivos is Mikhail Servos, who is the president of the Foundation of Hellenism in America. He's in Florida. And by the way, Dr. Bermezidis, he talked to me yesterday. He now got the permission from the University of Miami to build a whole statue, the whole statue, not just a bust, not what he brought to me, the whole statue in front of the Miami University in Florida. So this will be the first whole statue of Dr. Papanicolaou. The reason that this is going to be in the Miami University is because in 1961, 1962, 1963, Papanicolaou went there and they dedicated a whole building to his name, Papanicolaou Cancer Research, which I visited. It does not exist anymore. Another, now the last one is Vasilis Kontodimas from High School of St. Demetrius in Astoria. And the sponsor is the principal of Whitestone Holy Cross School in Whitestone, Friderichi Sangiani.
So you changed course, and you're in for a real treat from tonight from one of the world leaders in obstetrics and gynecology, an outstanding man devoted to his family, an outstanding friend, a religious man. I present to you Professor Apostolos Athanasiadis.
Before my scientific lecture, I want to address a thank to all of you, Your Eminence, Presidents of the Hellenic Medical Societies of North America and New York, chairmans, professors, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. It's my honor and privilege to receive the Dr. Papanicolaou's Award 2016. Dr. Papanicolaou was a Greek physician from a very small island that came at Cornell University and invented an easily performed low-cost screening test for early detection of cancerous disease. Even now, after 73 years, Pap smear in combination with HPV test remains an effective, widely used method for early detection of pre-cancer and cervical cancer.
Speaker, Dr. Stella Liberis, who is Vice President of the Hellenic Medical Society of New York and Clinical Assistant Professor of the Department of Radiation Oncology at NYU Langone Medical Center. Please.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Your Eminence, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor to be here tonight for many reasons. First of all, please don't test me, but I did study ancient Greek for 9 years in school in Italy, and enjoy every second of it. It was my favorite subject altogether for obvious reasons. Not only the culture, the incredible culture that permeates the universe, and we need more and more of that culture to permeate the universe, democracy, for instance. So, but also the magnificent art and the language, the beauty of the language. So I always think once I retire, I'll go back and study more ancient Greek. So it is a particular honor tonight because the next speaker is Stella Liberis, and she's extremely dear to me for many reasons. First of all, when I got my first job as a chair, she was my first resident, the resident we selected for the residency program, and she's been magnificent over the years, and it's a pleasure for her to have, been my legacy in some forms, but most importantly because I followed her life and Vasilis' life, and I was at their wedding, so I'm also close to them as dear friends. And they're magnificent children, and the rest of the family I get to know. But also because Stella is incredibly bright, and we're very, very lucky to have her in radiation oncology and cancer research in general. So she has done research in women malignancies particularly, and I can't resist, I have to say that yes, a lot of great men in great culture, also a lot of great women in Greek culture, and we need the great women to sustain the great men, and vice versa. So, and I have to break an arrow about the Mediterranean women that they really have kept a lot of cultures going and nurtured a lot of cultures. So Stella is one of them, and so with no further delay, so nice.
We lost her at NYU, but you have gained her here at Weill Cornell. Dr. Prometheus is now chairman here at Radiation Oncology at Weill Cornell. So I thought it would be nice for her to come and join and see the heritage of George Papanicolaou here at Weill Cornell, where is her home now as chair as she grows the department here. So I'm going to be speaking today. It doesn't show the whole slide, but basically it's the history and current innovations of the use of brachytherapy to treat cervical cancer. So cervical cancer, the rates are very low because of the advances of George Papanicolaou, but it still exists as a problem. And unfortunately, even in New York State, even though we are not an underprivileged society in New York, we still have cases of advanced cervical cancer that I treat and many others treat in New York City, and that's the sadness of it, but we can cure many women with this advanced disease. The history of brachytherapy, what is the word? Since we're in etymology today, I thought you would enjoy. O brachis is short, means short. I brachia therapia, meaning the therapy that comes close. So we are using radiation, which is a form of X-rays, to treat tumors from the inside, from directly at the source of where the tumor exists. And even though right now we have many advances in radiation therapy, we still are using brachytherapy, which has been around for more than 100 years, a century of treatment, in the same way by bringing the radiation sources and the isotope of radiation to the cancer itself within the woman, under anesthesia, of course, with collaboration with the GYN oncologists in the OR, in the operating room, and working side by side to treat these women and cure these cancers with radiation at the source. So these are now our current guidelines in radiation therapy for cervical cancer is using MRI, and that is the standard of care as we're treating now. And we use MRI for planning. Other advances are using different chemotherapy adjuvantly. There is a new direction of using gemcitabine, and it's a different agent of chemotherapy with adjuvant chemotherapy being given after. This trial was published in the JCO in 2011. However, some patients died. The gemcitabine was such a strong chemotherapy agent that a few patients died during treatment. So this is not necessarily the best. Today I'm going to speak to you about the history of radiation therapy very briefly, cervical cancer, the epidemiology, pathology, staging, treatment, and just try to keep you within time so we end at 9. As well as future directions, which are advancements in our field, which is by using advanced imaging. We work with radiologists to use MR imaging, PET imaging, a different chemotherapy regimen, and the main issues that we see as our patients are struggling with is survivorship, how they survive with cancer, what are the side effects that once you cure the cancer that they have to live and struggle with, and how can we help them long term when they have to live 10, 15 years later, what are still the problems they can face because of the treatment itself, because we do cause some long-term toxicities that some of our patients are struggling with, and ways that we can improve that.
Thank you for joining us. Today was our symposium, the Papanicolaou Annual Symposium 2016. had a wonderful speaker series with Dr. Stella Limbiris and our honoree, Dr. Athanasiadis. Both of them spoke very well about some issues in the gynecological realm and cytopathology.
And we thank MGTV and Communications for their excellent work in always presenting the Hellenic events of the diaspora.
The Hellenic Medical Society of New York.
Thank you, NGTV, always for covering our events and keeping them alive. Thank you.
Please watch MG to see what the Hellenes are doing abroad.
The Hellenic Medical Society of New York. MGTV USA. Οι δραστηριότητες της ελληνοαμερικανικής κοινότητας με βίντεο και πλήρες ρεπορτάζ. Επισκεφτείτε την ιστοσελίδα μας mgtvusa.com. Καλύπτουμε καθημερινά τα γεγονότα στην Ομογένεια. Επίσης, αναλαμβάνουμε την κάλυψη των εκδηλώσεών σας, γάμους, βαπτίσεις, παραγωγές διαφημίσεων, ντοκιμαντέρ. Τηλεφωνήστε μας στο 718-908-8729 ή επισκεφτείτε μας στο διαδίκτυο mgtvusa.com.